we need to help the local people not overwhelmed with the information, but to focus, because they have too many information about all the issues. So we need to be very focused. That's all.
I think we have two very important points. One is on the changes we need in infrastructure design. How do you address this in the future? Second one is, of course, how do you learn from not only the good practices but bad practices? This also brings us to what are the metrics for adaptation measurement, like how do we really assess those adaptation practices or strategies are better than other, or how do we prioritize activities? So this is again an active area where research is going on, how we really design metrics for adaptation. This brings us almost close to the panel discussion. So before we close, maybe we could have one last comment from the panelists. Would you like to make any comments?
Yeah, okay, a few words. So whatever we do, this whole mainstreaming thing will go into process, and then this leads into action. So we should always remember that the end users are the local communities. So at this stage, these are the villagers, the small village, the fishermen, and the farmers. So we should not forget about them, educate them, understand them, make them understand, so they participate willingly. Thank you.
Very much, Rama. Peter?
Just a few quick ones. This last point on information at the local level, I might slightly diverge from that point of view. I think generally speaking the issue is more lack of access to information, but we can have a debate about that. Another point that was raised a bit earlier, I mean, in my experience, at least when I used to do field work, since we're generally talking about farmers, at least in rural areas here, farmers are tremendous innovators. I mean, I was always just blown away with what farmers are capable of doing, even under the most difficult of circumstances, and would often ask myself, could I do that? So there's tremendous knowledge at the local level. Farmers are very adept at adapting to different circumstances, developing their own technical solutions. So there's much to learn from the local level. Lastly, I meant to mention this in my opening remarks. On the capacity development side, I mean, this has been a core concern of development for a long, long time. I think our approach to capacity development has evolved over the years in positive ways. There's a plethora of tools and methods out there that can be drawn on. So it's not like we're starting from scratch by any stretch. There's a large body of capacity development and capacity assessment methods and tools that we can apply in the adaptation arena. And on the mainstreaming front, while I think most of our experience perhaps over the years hasn't been very good, otherwise we'd be further along than we are today, there is now, I think, growing experience through programs like the Poverty Environment Initiative and others with mainstreaming. Also, I think this was mentioned either this morning or yesterday, other areas of concern such as gender, HIV/AIDS, health generally, where there is a longer body of experience on tackling mainstreaming. There's much to learn. So from the adaptation perspective, there are lessons out there that can be drawn on.
Thank you, Peter. No? Yeah.
Well, the time for talk is over. I think we have to act now. So that's it.
Thank you. Now, finally, Ali, did you get the answers to your questions? And what are your the inferences?
Just to try to answer your question in a roundabout way. In fact, what I think I have learned during this session that climate is a development issue. So we have to think, and the only way I am able to think about climate is climate and development. We cannot try to tackle them, cannot get to terms with what is happening if we try to look at it in a parallel fashion. So therefore, the question of mainstreaming has to be analyzed in the context of development. Now, in Asia-Pacific region, we have made some very impressive strides in the last 70 years in terms of the quality of life and so many other indicators. But a lot needs to be done. The more people, below the poverty line than ever before. More people, there's so many more people who do not have access to energy or food security and so on and so forth.